Ladies and gentlemen, that's it so far. You heard it from Niko House. The Sanders campaign had an app to track their voting. Nobody knew about this app. They kept it on the low. And when the DNC tried to report the results, there were the Bernie Sanders campaign to catch them. What do you got for us, Niko? Because right now, everybody's sitting on pins and needles. They just stopped the results coming in. It just seems like more shenanigans. I cannot believe it. I am not going to be sold to the fact that there were really irregularities. And I'm not going to blame goddamn Russia either. What the hell is going on, Niko?
So let's just start from the beginning, right? Nina Turner went on Status Quo the other day and said something that caught my eye, and I reported, and I said it wasn't small potatoes. If Nina Turner was saying it, then God damn it, it was the gospel. I said that. I said it's the gospel because Nina don't say what she don't mean. And so if she said it, that must mean she meant it. And she said that if the DNC thinks they're going to get away with what they did in 2016 in the 2020 election, well, they have another thing coming, which in my estimation, I took that as a signal that they are not ignorant nor naive to the rigging that took place in 2016. And this time they are prepared for it. So now we fast forward to the Iowa caucuses where there are a bunch of different results that were being reported. And then at 1.7 or 1.2% reporting, all of a sudden, Pete Buttigieg at one point even had a lead on Bernie Sanders.
He did.
But with the caucus that Fiorella had, Bernie was dominating her. Yep. Caucuses all around Iowa, you see pictures, live streams. Bernie was dominating, and he's the only one that actually had consistent viability. Everybody else's viability was, sometimes they had it, sometimes they didn't. Yep. And I know that sometimes, Pete, for the second round of voting, a lot of the times they'll go to an establishment candidate. However, with that being said, you're talking about basically to get the results that CNN was initially reporting, every second round of voting had to go to Pete Buttigieg. Well, I hypothesized something earlier. I said, you know what? I bet that they're getting irregularities because maybe Bernie prepared for this. Maybe Bernie had an app that he gave to his precinct captains that nobody else knew about. And lo and behold, ladies and gentlemen, they got an app that nobody else knew about. Oh, yeah. Johnny, go ahead and bring that up for me one time.
What?
So
wait, what? We had an app?
There is an app.
There's an app for that?
For
cheating? You're telling me the DNC cheats. There's an app for that?
There's an app for that. See, they thought they were the only ones that could do it. Boy, this is 2020, motherfucker. Everybody can make an app.
We got an app.
Exactly.
Johnny, let's get this app up.
Please pull up those pictures.
You can't get an app this good at Applebee's.
You cannot, man.
You can't get an app this good at TGI Fridays.
Good margaritas at Applebee's, though. Don't play. But all right. In all seriousness, they don't sponsor us, by the way. Not yet. But anyway, basically, what was taking place, and this is what I hypothesized was going to happen and what actually is happening. The DNC the Iowa DNC was, quote unquote, getting results that vastly differed from what the results of Bernie Sanders' app was going to show. So we were going to see from them what we basically always seen in the Iowa caucus, but specifically in 2016. We were going to see them trying to anoint somebody. But here's where it's bad. They got it completely wrong based off of the results in Bernie's app. So they had been trying to anoint Pete Buttigieg. Pasta and Johnny were just talking about the fact that Pete Buttigieg was on CNN pretending like he had already won based off of what?
Yep.
Because according to the app that Bernie's people, I should say, Bernie Sanders, 24%. Or 24 delegates. Elizabeth Warren, 19. Joe Biden, 15. Or no, this is percentage, excuse me. Amy Klobuchar, 11. Pete Buttigieg, 10. Another report, Bernie Sanders go up, 25. Elizabeth Warren goes up, 20. Joe Biden, 16. Amy Klobuchar, 14. Pete Buttigieg, 14. Another report, Bernie, 25. Elizabeth Warren, 20. Biden, 16. Buttigieg, 14. Klobuchar, 14. Where in the fuck did they get results that were showing that Pete Buttigieg was in first place, ladies and gentlemen?
Let me ask you a question, Niko.
Where that at?
Listen, Niko, they're going to lie, cheat, and steal this whole way there. We can see this. It's going on. Everybody's in it. You know, the tweet I put up on Twitter was from our friend Miguel Santiago, and he says you are witnessing election theft right in front of your own eyes. They're going to delay this thing out, try to kick it to late tonight, so that tomorrow he can't announce victory tonight, and then tomorrow they'll try to bury it in the news cycle when they're talking about impeachment, State of the Union, and take days to sort this out. But let me just go back to the app. This app that you were talking about, is this the whole kit and caboodle, all the results of the whole thing which this app has reported, or is this a small sample size?
This is a small sample of what had been reported so far, from what it looks like to be 3 different precinct captains. And they're updating the total results from the app based off of the reporting from the individual precinct captains.
Okay. This is why it's important to have precinct captains.
It's showing plus and minus. It's showing when the delegates go up versus when they're going down, or not the delegates, but the percentage points are going up versus when they're going down, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So what we are seeing is that the Sanders campaign was smart enough. Thankfully, this is what you use your goddamn resources for. I'm about to go donate $27 tonight, boy. That's what I'm about to go do, because when you use your resources to be this proactive, this is what we needed in 2020. This is what election integrity activists have been ringing the alarm about in 2020. And the Bernie Sanders campaign came through in the clutch. And once again, this is not only beneficial for just, progressives or Bernie Sanders supporters. This is beneficial to our democracy, because we just caught them trying to steal our democracy red-handed. Why the fuck was CNN trying to accept a victory speech from Pete Buttigieg without confirmed results, unless somebody told them to?
Yeah. I mean, hey, listen, big ups to the campaign. We've been really hard on and whatnot, but this is breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Niko House is reporting that the Sanders campaign had their own app as a security purpose and has found the DNC with their hand in the cookie jar once again. 2016 is happening all over again. Niko, what is the next step? What are they going to do? When are they going to get these results straight? Because I'm looking at the clock and it's almost 10-1 by you right now, and Bernie Sanders still cannot announce his victory.
He can't announce his victory, but the Iowa Democratic Party called in Bernie Sanders' crew for a meeting. I knew when they said that, I'm like, Bernie won. Bernie knows he won, and they're trying to figure out exactly how. Because now you have to think the results that they reported are probably all jacked. They started fucking with the results before they figured out whether or not Bernie had a way of tracking his own results. So now they not only had to scramble to try and get somebody to be Bernie, but now they're like, oh shit, Bernie actually has the results. Who do we divvy up delegates to based off of what again? Now you got to reverse everything, because it's just like the exit polling. Exit polling was what? 5, 6, 7, almost double digits in some cases in 2016. And what could they do then? They just got rid of the exit polling.
Exactly.
And if it's 2% or more, we know that they're supposed to deregister that election, not move forward with it. But this is different because this is a caucus. They try to announce somebody, but Bernie has his own results in a phone with precinct captains, where they probably were smart enough, like Fiorella, to live stream, document, et cetera, et cetera. They probably gave them explicit instructions, which, by the way, shout out to Fiorella. Now I'm even more thankful that she was so proactive in making sure that all the precincts were covered for Bernie Sanders, rather than letting those 12 precincts, fall by the wayside. Because now we figured out that could have been monumental in determining whether or not Bernie Sanders or, just a progressive in general won this election. And we just saw, once again, in real time, they tried to anoint Pete Buttigieg right in front of our eyes, ladies and gentlemen, right in front of our eyes.
Well, I just have to tell you this too, Niko. The New York Times has taken down the results. What little results they had up, they have taken them down. Mm-hmm. It seems like the mainstream media is once again in on it, and the DNC is once again trying to suppress the will of the people. And this is just terrible news. Niko, we want to thank you for coming on with us right now. Do you got anything else to say before we get out? It's almost 1 o'clock by you.
Yeah, no, man. But I just got to say, it's a damn shame, bro. It's a damn shame, because when we've been ringing the alarm on this, a lot of people have been attacking us for just saying, look, we can't pretend like the Democrats aren't going to rig. We can't pretend like it's not going to happen. Now, on the other side of that fence, I have said this in defense of Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is a chess player. It's only been one time in his life that he's ever lost an election more than once. Only one time. I think it was the very, very first time he ever ran for office. After that, he's lost an election once, but then goes on to win it, usually pretty handedly.
Yeah.
So he learns from his mistakes in most of the areas, maybe not all of them, but at least most of them, and he makes his adjustments. It looks to me as if he made the right adjustments. Shout out to Bree, an independent journalist who's the national press secretary for the campaign.
Yep.
Shout out to Nina, who is the national co-chair for the campaign, who has not been shy about ringing the alarm on rigging or potential rigging at all this entire election season. Shout out to whoever created this app. It was absolutely genius for you to do so. And shout out to Bernie Sanders, I should say, too, for the strategy of being quiet about the fact that you had an app that they couldn't track, so that when the time came, you didn't have to, they could have kind of like prepped the results. Okay, well, we can't mess with it because Bernie has a precinct captain here. No, they were like, we're going to let you report and we're going to see if you're going to be honest. And look what the fuck happened.
They caught him.
They caught them red-handed. Ladies and gentlemen, we just saw democracy. There was an attempt to steal our democracy and steal the momentum for the most important election in the history of this country right in front of our eyes. And we should not take that lightly. It doesn't matter if Bernie Sanders wins tonight. There should be outrage for the rest of this election to make sure that they know that we are watching them from now on.
Well, Niko, great job tonight. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the shout outs. I noticed you didn't have a shout out for Rokfin. What's wrong with that over there like that?
You're going to notice that a lot this election. There's going to be very, very few shout outs for Rokfin unless it's for me asking him the hell is his problem. That's a different discussion for a different day.
Niko, we had a fun time. We're almost getting off the air here. Go get some rest. We'll talk tomorrow. Next week, we're going to be in New Hampshire, the whole crew covering the primary, boots on the ground. Niko House, thank you so much.
Go to my Twitter and go to my GoFundMe to help fund the trip for New Hampshire. It's going to go to help with living expenses, food, travel while we're there. We're going to be all over New Hampshire. So go to my Twitter. It's the GoFundMe is pinned at the top of my Twitter. Thanks for everybody who's already donated. I think we already got like $300 to $400.
And me and Niko are going to have a cheese fry eating contest next week in New Hampshire. I'm
going to win that shit. Boy,
beat your ass in that cheese fry eating contest. Niko, I love you. Thank you so much. And thank you for joining us here on Rokfin. We'll see you sometime soon. Okay, buddy?
For sure.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it so far. You heard it from Niko House. The Sanders campaign had an app to track their voting. Nobody knew about this app. They kept it on the low. And when the DNC tried to report the results, there were the Bernie Sanders campaign to catch them. And I want to give a big ups to the Bernie Sanders campaign. We've been very critical of them. We've been very critical of the fact that the campaign hasn't been close enough to the grassroots. But however, with this move they pulled right there, I got to say all is almost forgiven. And what a great job, if in fact this is true, that we hear that this app caught the DNC red-handed.